Having marked out the positions of the veins on the front grille, I've done a tracing of them because I need to paint the grille black and then put the veins on in pale grey using a ruling pen. So this particular exercise will be the same as doing a tracing with graphite, except that I'll be using a white pencil instead. The entire exposed area of the painting is now being covered with a large piece of matte masking film. I use Frisk film and I use matte because you can draw on it, which is helpful sometimes. So here we go now. First cut into the surround of the grille. You must remember not to cut too deeply, just through the masking film. Here's the first bit of the masking film being peeled away. You'll be doing so much of this during an airbrush painting, it'll drive you nuts. You'll lose track of how many individual masks you've cut. It's like spraying a car, really. Anything that you don't want paint to get onto, you've got to mask off. It's fiddly and it takes time, but you'll hone up your scalpel skills. Here's the grille now painted black with the veins put in by ruling pen. Notice also that the headlights have now been airbrushed in. All the fine lines that you can see on there are actually scratched in with the tip of a scalpel. There's no ruling pen or anything here. Now, here I am starting to do some work on the front wheel. I do the wheels more or less at the start of every painting because it's where it can fail. It's so easy to get these wrong, and I'd sooner a painting fail right at the start than right at the end. So that's why I do them first. Now you can see the tyre has been airbrushed in as well, plus some additional highlighting on the wheel. There's some freehand airbrushing on the tyre. That's an acquired skill too, just to get the highlights at the top and the bottom. Give the tyre a little bit of roundness, if you like. I'd already decided at this stage as well that I would change the black discs in the centre and the wheel nuts and so forth to be done on computer, because these are also available in silver, and to go from such a dark colour to such a light colour is difficult. You need a kind of a mid-range colour, say a red or a blue, mid-blue, something like that. Having done the front grille, I'm now working on the surrounding area. This piece is also black. So you've already cut one mask, then you've covered it back up and you've cut another mask right next door to it. Airbrush paintings are full of this sort of thing. You'll just cut through hundreds of masks in the course of a painting. There seems to be no end to it, but it's the only real way to get there. Now you can see that work has been done on the back wheel too. These are always easier. It's so hard doing ellipses that are almost circular. Bad enough that you've got to draw the things, you've also got to cut round them freehand with a scalpel. Don't forget that part. Right, now we're starting to get work done on the windscreen surround and the hood bag. And don't forget, I'm armed with very poor reference on this. It's very hard to see accurately what you need to do through all the breaking up of any original photograph when you enlarge it. Well, a little splash of colour. Here I am working on the indicators and side lights and their reflections in the front bumper. As with the headlamps, the fine lines that you see in the indicators and sidelights will be scratched in with the tip of a surgeon's scalpel. Well, I thought I'd never get there. On an airbrush painting like this, you're going to spend ages working on isolated sections of the painting, always wondering whether they're actually going to fit together properly and look okay when you take all the masking off at the end. But finally, everything's looking broadly okay, and I've taken off the body masking and put the first coat down. Now we're getting onto the bit that I really love, the bodywork. Everybody thinks that the bodywork is going to be the hardest thing to do on these paintings. It's not. It's the easiest, because for the first time on this study, I'm actually able to move around and be a little bit creative with freehand airbrush strokes, highlighting and so on. There's fixed masks, spraying around French curves for a softer edge. Anything that you put between the airbrush and the painting that you're working on is a mask. And the great rule about this is there are no rules. Anything will do. I've sprayed around torn paper. I've sprayed through shredded cotton wool to get clouds. Anything goes so long as it gets the effect that you want. Never be afraid to experiment. I guess I should point out here that I inadvertently took the mask off one of the side light and indicator units, the one on the driver's side. That'll have to be repaired, such as a lot of the airbrusher. Well, here we are with that pesky side light and indicator unit repaired. I've modified the angle of the bonnet. I've added some more highlights. It just goes on and on, fine detail after fine detail, slowly appraising what you need to do. Notice as the painting progresses, the shadows get beefed up a little bit. This gives the car some solidity and some weight. It's neither cost effective nor practical to keep on changing the overall mask every time you do anything. If you're working on a smaller area, as I am here, just put a little bit of masking film over the area that you need and do the rest with plain paper and masking tape. What I'm doing now is adding a little highlight to the windscreen reflection at the top of the bonnet. So I've masked all around the area here to make sure I don't get any overspray on it, and with my scalpel I've actually cut the area out that I want the paint to fall onto. Which is tricky, to be fair. So I've now cut the area out, peeled it off. It's tricky, this stuff stretches all over the place. Make sure that when you tighten it off, you smooth your mask back down around the edge so that it stays nice and sharp. This is the new toy, Iwata Eclipse HPBS airbrush, and it's a fantastic piece of kit. It's so well engineered. Great new purchase there. Just adding some white paint. I need a little drop in there because it's a small area. Now just doing a quick test spray. You see it's very fine, controlled spray. Okay, all the masking except the paper surround has been taken off. So I'm going to give the painting a quick look over and make sure I'm happy with what I've done so far before I take the rest of the masking off. Okay, that's the paper mask removed. At this point I've done as much as I realistically can do with it as a painting before it gets taken into the computer and set up for manipulation and changes of specification and colour, etc. In the next video we'll be taking a look at what happens when your painting has finally left your drawing board and it gets taken into a computer for manipulation.